If you're planning a trip to Africa but are confused about where to go and what to do, this video will give you some tips to help you plan your trip. The first thing you need to do is figure out where to go. Africa is a huge continent with many diverse safari destinations, each offering the visitor a unique experience. The best way to decide where to go is to list down your interests using the following categories: wildlife, adventure, culture, and history. Also, are there any particular experiences that you would like to see? Maybe you want to see the wildebeest migration between the Serengeti National Park and the Masai Mara Game Reserve, or visit the iconic Victoria Falls in Zimbabwe or Zambia. How about being a spectator at the Lewa Marathon in Kenya, which is the only marathon taking place in a conservancy? Do you want to see the seal colonies and magnificent sand dunes of Namibia? How about swimming with whale sharks in Zanzibar? Once you prioritize your interests and experience, this will help in narrowing down your destination. Let's look at some examples for each category. If your priority is wildlife, then Kenya and Tanzania immediately come to mind, as they have an abundance of wildlife, great infrastructure, and famous names like the Serengeti National Park and the Masai Mara Game Reserve. Or it could be that you're interested in seeing wildlife from a different perspective. How about seeing wildlife in a canoeing safari? Then the Okavango Delta in Botswana is the place to be. Shall we look at some examples of adventure? How about gorilla trekking in the Volcanoes National Park in Rwanda? Or whitewater rafting in Jinja, Uganda, which also happens to be the source of the Nile? Perhaps you can climb Mount Kenya, which has snow even though it's on the equator. Or head out to the Simien Mountains in Ethiopia. Better still, challenge yourself by conquering Mount Kilimanjaro, the roof of Africa. What if your priority is culture and history? You may want to visit Lamu in Kenya, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site where no vehicles are allowed. How about Ethiopia, to the rock-hewn churches of Lalibela and the Church of St. Mary of Zion, which is the probable location of the Holy Ark of the Covenant? Your interests will most likely pin down your ideal destination in Africa. Remember, if you're going for a particular experience, then the time of year is important, but more about that in our later video on when to go. If you would like more help with planning a trip to Africa, join our newsletter at www.wilddestinations.com, and I will send you more information to help with your planning.